Hello everyone, today we want to talk about top 10 movies of Al Pacino. Number 10, The Devil's Advocate, 1997, director Taylor Hackford, actors Keanu Reeves, Charlize Theron, Jeffrey Jones. An exceptionally adept Florida lawyer is offered a job at a high-end New York City law firm with a high-end boss, the biggest opportunity of his career to date. The acting, Keanu Reeves, Al Pacino, and Charlize Theron was brilliant. It's one of those films that makes us think and that touches on one interesting theme: the eternal struggle between good and evil, between God and his eternal enemy, the devil. And this film gives us preciously the best interpretation of the Prince of Evil that cinema has ever seen. IMDb 7.5, Metascore 60, Rotten Tomatoes 72.
How the hell did that happen? I'm the hand of Mona Lisa's skirt. I'm a surprise, Kevin. They don't see me coming.
Number 9, Serpico, 1973. Director Sidney Lumet. Actors John Randolph, Jack Kehoe, Beef McGuire. An honest New York cop named Frank Serpico blows the whistle on rampant corruption in the force only to have his comrade turn against him. Al Pacino gives a raw, powerful performance as the keen, clean-cut rookie policeman trying to resist the cancerous corruption rife in the police force, where almost every officer is on the take and bending police procedures. Director Sidney Lumet built up a filmography that examines in-depth police corruption, and he shoots this movie in a straight, smart, earthy, edgy manner. IMDb 7.7, Metascore 81, Rotten Tomatoes 90.
If I could work alone, that's the thing, see? If I could just get work alone. But they don't like that, see? They don't want that. They want to suck you in.
Number 8, The Insider, 1999. Director Michael Mann. Actors Russell Crowe, Christopher Plummer, Diane Venora. A research chemist comes under personal and professional attack when he decides to appear in a 60 minutes expose on Big Tobacco. Russell Crowe gives a top-notch performance of everyman scientist Jeffrey Wigand that meets Al Pacino, and Christopher Plummer's portrayals of 60 minutes hotshots Lovell Bergman and Mike Wallace frame by frame. These three actors have the perfect blend of chemistry and timing, and fit their characters like a glove. IMDb 7.8, Metascore 84, Rotten Tomatoes 93.
The entire deposition of his testimony in a court of law in the state of Mississippi, the cat totally out of the bag.
Number 7, Heat, 1995. Director Michael Mann. Actors Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, Jon Voight. A group of high-end professional thieves start to feel the heat from the LAPD when they unknowingly have a clue at their latest heist. Heat is a masterful cops and robbers tale that shows both sides of the law in exquisite detail. Strong performances by Pacino and excellent cinematography, and perhaps the best gunfight since Hard Boiled. More than worth the 3 or so hours. IMDb 8.3, Metascore 76, Rotten Tomatoes 91.
I get mixed up with that bitch.
Because she got a great ass. And you got your head all the way up it.
Number 6, Glengarry Glen Rose, 1992. Director James Foley. Actors Ed Harris, Alec Baldwin, Kevin Spacey. An examination of machinations behind the scenes at a real estate office. This movie has no sex, no violence, no car chases, no action, but absolutely the most powerful acting I have ever seen. Uncompromisingly realistic, this movie is a veritable who's who of acting, with Al Pacino, Jack Lemmon, Ed Harris, Alec Baldwin, Alan Arkin, Jonathan Pryce, not to mention a then relatively unknown Kevin Spacey. IMDb 7.7, Metascore 82, Rotten Tomatoes 92.
Tell you something else. I hope you rip the joint off. I can tell our friend here a little something might help him to catch you.
Number 5, The Irishman, 2019. Director Martin Scorsese. Actors Robert De Niro, Joe Pesci, Harvey Keitel. Hitman Frank Sheeran looks back at the secrets he kept as a loyal member of the Bufalino crime family. The Irishman is one of the best stories put to film in years. Al Pacino looked in his prime. De Niro, Pesci, and everyone else is perfect. The CGI is revolutionary, truly seamless. IMDb 7.8, Metascore 94, Rotten Tomatoes 91.
I understand you're a brother of mine.
Yes, sir. Local 107 since 1947.
Number 4, The Godfather II, 1974. Director Francis Ford Coppola. Actors Robert De Niro, Robert Duvall, Diane Keaton. The early life and career of Vito Corleone in 1920s New York City is portrayed, while his son Michael expands and tightens his grip on the family crime syndicate. Al Pacino is the standout in the ensemble cast, and it's amazing how his eyes have changed from the first part. They are now cold, ruthless, and unemotional, and betray the price which Michael Corleone has paid for power. Watch this movie and learn why it's the greatest gangster film of all time. IMDb 9, Metascore 90, Rotten Tomatoes 97.
I know it was you, Fredo. You broke my heart. You broke my heart.
Number 3, Dog Day Afternoon, 1975. Director Sidney Lumet. Actors John Cazale, Penelope Allen, Sully Boyer. 3 amateur bank robbers plan to hold up a bank. A nice simple robbery. Walk in, take the money, and run. Unfortunately, the supposedly uncomplicated heist suddenly becomes a bizarre nightmare, as everything that could go wrong does. This amazing film somehow managed to capture the dense texture of real life. Improvisational acting, no artificial lighting, no costumes or makeup other than what was essential to the character, and no musical score helped make it that way. So, do intense performances from Al Pacino, John Cazale, and Charles Durning. IMDb 8, Metascore 86, Rotten Tomatoes 93. Number 2, Scarface, 1983. Director Brian De Palma. Actors Michelle Pfeiffer, Stephen Bauer, Mary Elizabeth Mastrantonio. In 1980, Miami, a determined Cuban immigrant takes over a drug cartel and succumbs to greed. Scarface has a great storyline, brutal violence, as well as having Al Pacino at one of his finest roles. Scarface is one of the best gangster dramas. The movie and soundtrack are both on a league of their own. IMDb 8.3, Metascore 65, Rotten Tomatoes 87.
Say hello to my little friend!
Before we talk about number 1, please subscribe our channel. Thank you so much. Number 1, Scent of a Woman, 1992. Director Martin Brest. Actors Chris O'Donnell, James Rebhorn, Gabrielle Anwar. A prep school student needing money agrees to babysit a blind man, but the job is not at all what he anticipated. Why is Pacino such a beast acting? I'll tell you why. His passion. Passion that overwhelms all surrounding him. His voice starts roaring and he forgets that he is Al Pacino. He suddenly becomes his character. He stops seeing around him and he is now a prisoner in his role. IMDb 8, Metascore 59, Rotten Tomatoes 91.
You break my heart, son. All my life I stood up to everyone and everything because it made me feel important.